Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Trizity Traveling. I am your host, John, and today I've got one of my destination tour videos that I talked about in my channel trailer. Earlier this year, I went to Houston and visited the Johnson Space Center. This time I'm in Florida to see the Atlas V launch of the Perseverance rover, and because it went off without a hitch, the day after, we visited the Kennedy Space Center. The ghost town that is the Kennedy Space Center. It was pretty crazy how empty it was. You'll see that in the video here. But before we get into the video, please take a second to click the subscribe button and hit the reminder bell, and you'll be notified automatically of future content. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up at the end. I really appreciate that. Today's visit to the Kennedy Space Center took place on August 1st, and it was hot. Really hot, and you'll see me in the video talk about being hot. There is one disappointment in this and one really cool thing in this, so I hope you'll watch all the way to the end and you'll get to see both of those. So without any further delay, let's visit the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The main attractions of the Kennedy Space Center include a rocket garden, the Heroes and Legends Hall of Fame, the shuttle launch experience, and the two big ones are the Space Shuttle Atlantis and the Apollo Saturn V Center. Here's the map of the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Dark blue is open, light blue is closed due to coronavirus concerns. We start today in the Rocket Garden. All but one of the rockets in the Rocket Garden are authentic. We've got a Gemini Titan, Atlas Agena, two Junos, Delta, Saturn 1B, the Mercury Atlas replica, and the Mercury Redstone. It's pretty cool. You get to walk around and get up close and personal with all of these actual missiles, except for the one, of course. There is a tour guide available at various times throughout the day. Part of the Rocket Garden was walled off. I believe they are expanding, and I read a Delta 4 booster is going to be in the Rocket Garden in the near future. I'm also hoping a SpaceX booster might make it in there, but time will tell on that. Project Gemini mock-up. The biggest rocket in this particular area is the Saturn 1B. Again, part of it was unavailable due to the expansion of the Rocket Garden. The Saturn V in a different part of the Kennedy Space Center is part of the bus tour. Moving on from the Rocket Garden, we get to the Central Plaza, as well as the STEP power launch area. It's kind of a ghost town, though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's normally like this, but it is just empty. There's nobody here. I guess that's COVID-19 for you. So you step on these things and it fuels the rocket.
It's not all living right.
So this one works. So that's what was launched yesterday. Atlas V. I don't think that's the actual launch from yesterday, however. Space guy. In the central launch area is the Orion mock-up, a full-scale model of the crew capsule. The Orion capsule will go on top of the SLS when it becomes operational. Closed. The journey to Mars includes several presentations as well as models of all the rovers. Journey to Mars. Let's see what the Perseverance rover looks like. Picture of the someday to be launched SLS. It is so hot outside. The early Mars rovers are on display, as well as Perseverance, which I was in Florida to see launch. He's so cute. I think this is Spirit and or Opportunity. Based on what I'm seeing here, I think they're the same. Same design, at least. And they got a mock-up of the Orion heat shield here. I got a close-up of the writing there. That thing's huge. 16 feet 6 inches. Sheesh. So here's Curiosity, or at least a copy. Obviously Curiosity is on Mars. So we saw this guy get launched yesterday.
That's the nuclear.
Very cool. It's got a helicopter with it. The journey to Mars includes a really sales pitch video to try to get young people to enjoy and explore space in the future. Very cool video of the SLS launch. Very excited to see the space shuttle Atlantis. This is my second visit to any space shuttle. There's also one at the California Science Center on the campus of USC. Standing in front of the space shuttle mock-up, I'm in front of the solid rocket booster and external tank. Massive.
We're going to create America's next spacecraft.
There's a short video of shuttle launches before you get the unveiling of the shuttle Atlantis. I'm not going to spoil that for you. It is pretty impressive. You get some pretty good views of the Atlantis and its shuttle bay. A little different than the shuttle in the California Science Center that you walk underneath. It's also an impressive display, but this I think is a little more impressive. The walk around gives you a good view of the engines on the space shuttle. Turns out these are nozzles only. The actual RS-25 engines have been removed for the SLS program. Those are nozzles with fake mounting plates. There is an RS-25 on display, but according to the Everyday Astronaut, it's likely that this is just a mixture of parts to cobble together an RS-25 and not an actual light-flown version. The D-orbit burn tunnel. Kind of freaking me out a little bit.
On as clear an evening as you could possibly hope for down at the Kennedy Space Center. Final approval for the deorbit burn offered by Capcom Barry Wilmore.
Got the widest angle lens I got, and I still can't get it all. After walking alongside the shuttle, you go down below and get views of the heat shield and the tiles. Still crazy to me that all these tiles were glued to the bottom of the shuttle. Surprised that the touching of these tires was allowed right now. You can actually touch the tires from a space shuttle. There is a hand sanitizing station right next door. The Columbia and Challenger memorials for the astronauts are here. It's very moving. You can pay your respects here at the Kennedy Space Center. Not to sound trite, but after paying our respects, we did go get some lunch. Gluten-free brownies and gluten-free cookies? What? I don't see anything else that's gluten-free though. I can get a gluten-free brownie and a gluten-free cookie. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's try it. Oh yeah. That's really good. That's really good. Okay, my champion's lunch continues. The cookie was awesome. We're gonna have a brownie now. Health food. The cookie was soft and moist. So far the brownie is kind of dry and crumbly, but not as good as the cookie. Perhaps the only disappointment of today's visit, no tour of the Space Center, which means no Saturn V. Have to come back. We got a free ticket for next year, anytime next year, so maybe we'll come back. I don't know, we'll see what happens. And as always, exit through the gift shop. I hope you enjoyed today's visit to the Kennedy Space Center. Pretty cool visit for me personally. I'm kind of into space, and all that space stuff is pretty sweet for me. The big disappointment of today's visit was not being able to see the Saturn V. That's part of the bus tour. But the highlight of this particular visit, and if you go today, you will be able to see this as well, is up close and personal with the space shuttle Atlantis. Anytime you get to see a space shuttle, there's not very many of them out there. A lot like there's not very many Saturn V's out there. So anytime you get one, it's a special treat. If you have any questions or comments about visiting the Space Coast of Florida, I've only been there once, but I have a little bit of insights if you have questions about that. Watching a launch, visiting the Kennedy Space Center, or anything else related to travel, please post those below. I'm happy to respond to that. And as I wrap up today, I want to wish you and all of yours safe and happy travels. See you next time.